What's up guys, and welcome to a new video of Plain Explain. Today playing two tables of 1-2 and two tables of 2-5. Let's see what action we got here. The two tables of 2-5 are on the upper part of the screen and the 1-2 are on the bottom. You can check raise or check call some of the times depending on the positions and so on and so forth. It seems like we didn't open our HUD. And on the river, no reason to bet anymore. Double two betting almost range. And easy overbet on the turn. Let's hope we get enough action with 4 tables. And sometimes also not too much action, too many hands. So that I will be able to explain my thought process. Table 4 I thought about raising, but the combos to bet bluff would be some Jack 4, Jack 5 in that region. Jack 2 is just a call. And versus a bet, it's very close, so very low frequency. We can flat with backdoor flush draw. Now raising, thought about also about raising, but no, not reason to raise this combo. Maybe something like Jack 9, Jack 8 in that region with backdoor would be better candidate, and on the turn no reason to bet. On table 1 we can, on the turn we bet 3/4, can bet 3/4 or overbet with a club and 2 overs in gut shot, and the river we bet for value 3/4. Easy value bet. Wow, wow, wow. He jams. I mean, let me think about it. It is a pretty nice candidate to call it some of the times if you think it through. But given the fact that it's a pair board, I do think it's a better candidate. I mean, Jack 10 maybe? Or I'm not even sure if he call a jam actually, besides a straight. Because he does have some traps, some pocket nine, some even some turned full houses on the turn with the pocket eight. So against the jam, I do think that we mostly folding. I have to take a look at that hand. I'm not sure. I mean, he could have some bluffs like. Let me think about it. Maybe some ace 10. I'm not really sure if he would bluff that hand. So on the pair board, I don't have almost no. I have almost no boats on that board. So pocket eights would be most of the time. Three bet pocket nines 100%. So yeah, yes. Besides pocket deuces, this would be the nuts, and of course some straights. But like I said, blocking some of the straight. Not really sure which combos. Maybe 8-9 will be a candidate to call some of the times, but 8-9 should actually mostly call if I'm thinking thoroughly. Yeah, he blocks full house, but in the same time, I could bluff with a queen with a 10, so I don't think 8-9 it's a fine candidate also to call, but yeah, could mix also jams. Maybe it would be some of the focus of bluffs there. Table 2 on the turn. I mean, on the flop, he will check range, almost range. On the turn, he will still have a lot of checks, but I want him to fold some queen, king, and ace highs, even I don't know, pocket deuces without a club, and that's why yeah, I bet this even if it's not maybe that's not a GTO combo to bluff. And on the river, when he calls, he definitely has some showdown value. He might have some ace x with a diamond with a club, and win with the ace high some of the times, but no, we're not bluffing. We're not bluffing after he calls. Table 4, we overbet flop. It's not really a thing to overbet this board, even with this position. Maybe just betting three quarter or half pot would be fine. But against a weaker player, I take them as a whale, so I just want to get value from all of his draws, and a6 and whatever he does have. Double barrel, overbet barrel. It's very easy on the turn and on the river. I'm just thinking, what's the value? What's the size he will call with any a6 or maybe some wicked to pairs? I don't think like 80-90% would be the proper size. So maybe he would jam an ace, or I don't know what exactly he does have. Most likely he did have a button pair with a draw like this. But yeah, sometimes just not getting too greedy is also fine to get max value, but not getting too greedy, because when I jam there, very unlikely would call with anything worse, even well. Table 1, very, very, very interesting. So he raise very big. I didn't have enough time. I think I mostly should have folded against its very big raise, so especially without a diamond. So on one side, on one hand, it's good that we don't block diamonds. On the other hand, I don't think that he would raise that many uh, flush draws combos on ace high board. So yeah, on the turn, easy fold against the jam. Check raising table 3, easy check raise, he did the double barrel and on the river. Even if some backdoor flush draw get there, easy value bet again, 3/4 against a marked weaker player again. Oh yeah, he jams. What's happening today? We just get jammed with medium and very good hands. I mean, this feels gross. This feels gross. What exactly would he bluff here? I really don't find enough bluffs. Even with a flush, um, even I mean a flush would not jam all the time. But what exactly would he bluff after calling double check raise and double barrel and jamming the river against a 3/4 size? I mean, this feels gross. Not sure if he finds enough bluffs, especially a weaker player. That seems a very tough fold, but in reality, I don't think it's fine to exploit fold there. For a 4-bet pot, table 4. We see bet very small. We can barrel this. Of course, you could have some 5, 6s, 7s, 8s. But with a club, we barrel more. We mix this as a check and bet. And on the river, and think about it, we could even jam a range. Of course, it would have some 9x advantage. I do not have any 9x, but in terms of flushes, I do have an advantage. So yeah, I don't think, especially with clubs, when we do manage to get him off a chop, it's a very big win. Even I don't think he should follow the chop. I mean, there are situations when he should fall, but don't think this is one of them. So I could bluff all of the ace king with or without a club most of the times, depending. So yeah, maybe we get a fold. Oh, he had 5-6. That seems very ambitious. Pre-flop calling. I mean, he 3-bet 5-6 suited and call a 4-bet. So yeah, very interesting. It appears that we got lucky there on the river, so we would have lost. So no wonder I marked him as a very aggressive player. Table 2, 3-way, no, c-bet. Table 4, very loose open, but sometimes okay. Table 1, even against a min raise, against a shorter stack with this combo, better folds right away. And table 4, we just give it up or fold when he bets. Table 2, given the fact that he's a weaker player in the blind, I am very inclined to believe that he wouldn't bluff that much. So even if we are ahead some of the times, he will most likely bluff it on the river. So Not sure if he can peel there. Table 1, mixing some racy bet, very small percentages, usually just calling. But since the people, or most of them, will just bet range on that board and are not checking anything or very few combos, we can raise more than in theory. Table 4, easy call, I mean color 4 bet with this combo on the flop against a 60-70%. It doesn't feel great. Especially blocking some of his draws with a jack. On the turn, the same thing. Doesn't feel great, but we cannot fold yet. And on the river, let's hope it doesn't jam, because I'm not sure if you can fold this combo. Table 1, 3 pot. Aces and kings makes these big bets. I mean, between 50 and I don't know. We can even pot, or we can even overbet, unblocking all of his queen x and king x, maybe king 10, king 9, king jack. So very big bet. On the turn, the same thing, betting big. And having a nice jam on the river, so no worried about anything. No, not worried. Let's hope to get a call from Queen X. Queen X it is. Nice attack with aces. While most of the time you just get the blinds, or getting outdrawn with aces. Very few times you get full amount of value with aces, especially playing post flop. So yeah, pre-flop when you get a cooler for you, it's another thing. But post flop, yeah, nice to get a stack playing post flop. So against a shorter stack, we do not uh, 3-bet this combo. We just call. On the river, table 4, no reason to value bet this queen, no kicker. So just gonna check back. What happened on table 1? I was distracted. I don't think I check call the flop. This doesn't seem right. So maybe check raise, but I don't think it's correct to float there. I mean, yeah, it's against the presumably weaker player, we can do it some of the times, but still, it's very loose, especially on the pair board. Table 1, a weaker player just pots against two people on ace high board. Doesn't feel great already, but with a backdoor flush, trying to bet the two pairs if he does have two pairs. We can call once and see what he does. Table 3, we can raise, so I'm not sure what he's check raising. He shouldn't check raise that much. Maybe some middle pairs. I mean, when he three bets the flop, this is just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, maybe you got to three bet with a jack, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm just gonna fold right away. Don't think he'll find enough bluffs there, especially without having any read. To mostly check raising, even if we do not have that many check raises on this board. Table 4, King Jack suited. I don't think it's a 4 bet against a squeeze. King Queen suited would be maybe some of the times 4 bet, but yeah, let's just try this time. People are, some of them are squeezing too wide, so even with this position, so he has to fold. King, Queen, or Ace Jack, whatever he's 4 betting against the 4 bet. Whatever he's squeezing. When he calls, he most likely has a big ace or a pair between tens and queens, I assume. He wouldn't jam queens. I mean, he shouldn't against a 4 bet, or at least just a small frequency. We can double barrel it, so we can make him fold something else, but most likely he does have an ace, even ace king. So yeah, easy check back and fold on the river when he jams. So we tried it. Given the fact that on the button is a weaker player, we can float sevens on the small. And no reason to slow play. There are a lot of very bad cards and turns and rivers, so just bet jack raising for value. And other turns, he might have some 8-9 of course, but he does have all of the two pairs there. So just with this SPR, just jamming and hope for the best. I do have a lag. I'm not sure if it's the client or the Stars client or just my recording program. It's annoying. Table 3, calling a 3-bet, and he's supposed to bet range, and that's why we donk some of the times with these hands to get him fold some ace-5, ace queen off, or whatever. Ace queen off, I'm not sure if he's folding, but still. Yeah, we are donking some of the times after calling. 7 table 1 not floating against the shorter stack. Table 2 4-bet pot, port usually betting 1/10, 10%. He should fold all of the hands but an ace or a king. So yeah, pretty bad we didn't get the call there, but he doesn't have that many aces. Besides ace queen and ace jack some of the times maybe. Not sure ace 10 would be a call. Depending on the position, don't remember exactly the positions. When there wouldn't have been UTG, I don't think we were short, so maybe it was MP or cutoff. So yeah, he could have had a bit more of ace X combos. Table 1, usually overbetting. I mean, we do have a lot of overbets, but just playing 4 tables is playing sometimes I do not think it through, so that's why I overbet with 7s. I don't think it was a good hand combo to overbet, so just checking or respecting small with that combo would have been better. Have another better candidate to overbet that flop. Table 4, we just checked until the river, and we did call a double pot overbet with a straight and flush blocker. Yeah, it already didn't feel good when he checked twice and then overbets, bombs the river. I expected him to have at least a 6 when not a flush, but blocking the flush is, I mean, it's very, very good. So he would bluff a lot of a6. And with a6 with a spade, that's why, yeah, so unless it's, let's say, like in the pot earlier with ace 8 when there is an all or very big pot, I try not to go too far with exploits. Even I turn to be right again and again. I'm trying to also call like I should in theory when I have a very good combo to call and a very good hand. So a straight with ace flush block, it's the bottom of my range. So when I do fold this, so what am I calling there? So just a 6 and a flush. So yeah, I don't even have a flush in that line. So yeah, would be very tough to fold there. Ace 8 hand was a bit different. So yeah, he could have had a lot of better hands. I just had trips with top kicker, so there was full house, was straight, was flush. So yeah, I'm not really at the bottom of my range, so I could find a fold. I'm not sure even in theory if I'm supposed to call there. So yeah, exploitatively easy fold. I do think they are two different hands. Table 3, he's raising my c-bet, very interesting, and checks back. I mean, this seems very, very fishy. I mean, of course, he should have some raises, but then then checking back the turn and then raising my block bets. I mean, this is just clicking buttons. I mean, Maybe he was just afraid of straight or better two pairs with ace 10 or ace 8 and check back and then now raising my block. I should have actually bet bigger, not blocking with this combo, blocking the straight. So yeah, I'm given a good price, but again, this exploits what I'm talking about. So I'm not having a very good hand. I mean, I'm having a very good hand in blocker in terms of blockers, but not in terms of value. So even given that price, I don't think you would find I won't find enough bluffs there. So just seems like he had a very good hand. He didn't know how to get more value, and yeah, not thinking bluff there enough. Bluffing. Table 3. We are floating with this backdoor straight draw and folding some bottom pairs, some low pairs. I mean, this is threes. On the turn, mostly checking back. However, he should bet anything what he does have for value. So, not sure if this is a. I did bet, but I should have. I should have thought a bit more. So this is not a good bet. So if he didn't bet for value and didn't bet as a bluff, uh, so either he does have a value hand like a 9x tens, he should have definitely bet for value, or some traps, or when he does have air, I'm not sure he's calling his hero calling there with ace high. So yeah, it was a bit ambitious that hands. I should have checked back. Against this tiny 3-bet in the weak player, we can float and peel the 3-bet, and we are done with the hand, so we're not gonna bluff. At least not flop and turn. Maybe we bet on the river when he checks, but we didn't get there. Given the fact that the big blind is a weak player, I floated the table 3. I floated with king 9 suited. I donk bet. We can donk bet on the turn. We would block mostly with sets and an ace and draws. And against this race, we could 3-bet because I do think we have some 6 advantages, even if it's cut off and not that much, but to get there with the flush, so he's giving us a very good price, so we cannot fold against that trade. Table 1 calling or some low frequency folds and 4 bets, but mostly calling. Table 2, no reason to value bet it. So it would be too thin. Table 1 just folding, so I very easily overbluffed it spot if getting creative with raises and floats. So on ace high board, so yeah, back to straight draw, back to flush draw, yes, but just with a jack on ace high board, yeah, we can get creative on other boards, but not on ace high with flush draws. And table 4, just checking it down. No reason to do anything else with this hand. And currently winning against a low pair maybe. Table 1, we could bet, we could check flop, and on the turn, we could check again or we can bet, and depending on the runner, we can overbet. But on this runner, we're just checking, we're not turning this hand on the bluff even. Yeah, we don't have that much showdown value when he calls the turn. Table 4, against the 4, but usually peeling. But against a pretty pretty tight there, as far as I noted him, I could fold it. We can make a tight fold there. Table 3, 3 betting and calling a 4 bet. Against a quarter, we can raise it, but maybe king queen, king jack. Not sure if king 10 we're gonna raise it. I haven't unblocking the draws. And almost sure we're gonna jam the turn if he bets. So we need some protection, and he could battle it with the hand with flush blockers, but he checks in. And when he checks on the river, it's very close between king jamming. I mean, king queen the same thing as with the raise on the flop. King queen queen jack would be a jam. King 10 is close, but yeah, I don't think we can jam it. So I'm blocking ace jack. I'm not sure what is better. I'm blocking the jack or 10, the jacks and or 10s with my blockers. So yeah, he could definitely find some call queens. Maybe with king 5 suited, he could 4-bet some of the time. Not sure if he would have had to pair with king 5. Either way, so even it's a bit close, I don't think it's a fine jam there. And what is this player clicking buttons all the time? Still, what are they doing? So the whole session just raising it in spots where I could have the nuts. So with king block, I could raise it or jam it with the blocker, but I better not get too fancy with bluffs against very fishy lines. So maybe he just trapped with a flush or whatever he does have and is not falling. So just playing ABC in spots where the players are just taking uh, fishy lines or lines where make no sense. They usually have it. So I hope you enjoyed it. This was all for today. And if you liked, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and see you in the next video.